We often discuss frequency in spiritual circles, imagining it as some mysterious cosmic radio dial, external and difficult to reach. But the true, most potent frequency you possess is not a sound wave or a specific numerical hertz. It is the instantaneous, vibrational state of your entire being, the coherence or lack thereof between your deepest thoughts, your strongest emotions, and the physiological responses of your nervous system. This internal state is the exact signal the universe uses to determine what opportunities, resources, and yes, what true miracles are available for delivery to your life experience. If you find yourself relentlessly pushing, striving, and yet continuously hitting walls, it's not a failing of effort but a miscalibration of your broadcast signal. Most people try to change their external reality by working harder on the outside, attacking symptoms of lack or difficulty. However, the elite few, those who seem to attract highly improbable and magnificent synchronicity, understand that the external world is simply a reflection of the precise internal frequency they are emitting. To hack your mind for true abundance is to stop chasing results and start refining the signal you send out. It is the mastery of your internal environment that unlocks the effortless flow of the universe, allowing events that seem impossible to manifest with speed and grace. In this deep dive, we will move past the superficial definitions of manifestation and explore the mechanics of true mental tuning. We will uncover how specific emotional states condition your brain to perceive opportunity, how resistance blocks the flow, and, most crucially, the exact actionable practices required to stabilize your frequency so that miracles become a predictable, consistent occurrence in your life. This is not theory. This is the operating manual for your highest potential. Before we unlock the first principle of internal frequency, engage with us and let us know where you are tuning in from. Tell us your city and country in the comments below and commit to staying with us until the very end, because the practices we share in the final sections are the key to integrating this powerful knowledge. The concept of frequency in the context of the mind is often misunderstood as merely positive thinking or shallow affirmations. In truth, mental frequency is a profound physiological and energetic signature defined by the congruence between the three major centers of your awareness. The cognitive mind, what you think you want, the emotional heart, how you truly feel about it, and the autonomic nervous system, your body's physical stress or safety response. When these three centers are pulling in different directions, for instance, when your mind attempts to affirm wealth while your heart is secretly gripped by fear of poverty, and your body is stuck in a fight-or-flight stress loop, you are emitting a discordant, chaotic signal that effectively cancels out any positive manifestation. This internal dissonance is the primary energetic barrier to miracles. When we talk about shifting frequency, we are talking about achieving coherence. Coherence is the state where the electrical activity of the heart and brain synchronize into a highly ordered, harmonious wave pattern, typically associated with elevated emotional states like profound appreciation, unconditional love, or deep serenity. This state of alignment dramatically reduces internal resistance and maximizes your energetic output. Imagine a symphony orchestra playing perfectly in time. The resultant sound is powerful, clear, and resonant. Your mind, when coherent, operates with that same clarity and power, projecting an unmistakable signal of certainty and safety to the universe, making it easy for the desired outcome to find you. The human body is an incredible energetic transmitter, and the clarity of the broadcast depends entirely on the cleanliness of the circuit. Stress, unaddressed trauma, and cognitive biases act like static interference on your spiritual radio. If your foundational state is one of low-grade anxiety or skepticism, even the most focused intention will be muffled and distorted before it leaves your system. True frequency work demands radical honesty about your dominant emotional baseline, because the universe responds not to the words you speak, but to the vibrational integrity of your core state of being. To learn more about mastering these energetic principles and receiving continuous, high vibrational guidance that supports your journey toward consistent miracles, please take a moment right now to hit the subscribe button and join our community. Your alignment journey is our priority. The power of coherence is not mystical, it is measurable. Research in neurocardiology demonstrates that when the heart is operating coherently, often felt as deep gratitude, it sends a stronger, more harmonized signal to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. This heart intelligence then organizes the brain waves, shifting you out of chaotic beta states, stress, and into calmer, more resourceful alpha and theta states, where clarity, insight, and sudden breakthroughs become commonplace. This physiological shift is the actual mechanism by which you tune your mind. Incoherent frequencies are sticky. They trap you in cycles of reaction and scarcity. If your frequency is dominated by worry, you will constantly attract situations that reinforce the necessity of worrying. This is the mechanism behind the phrase, "as within, so without." The external world obligingly mirrors the energy you are broadcasting. This isn't punishment, it's physics. The universe is merely reflecting the clarity or confusion of your signal back to you, demanding that you address the internal energetic source of the discord before the external pattern can change. Furthermore, stabilizing a high-frequency state requires relinquishing the need to control the how. When you are coherent, you are operating from a place of trust in universal intelligence. Obsession over the method of manifestation is a low-frequency behavior rooted in fear and lack of faith. A clear signal, the high-frequency state of knowingness, is inherently magnetic. It pulls the right people, the right resources, and the right timing toward you without the need for struggle or frantic manipulation of external circumstances. This shift from seeking to attracting is the fundamental difference between striving and thriving. Those operating at a high frequency don't struggle to find opportunities. They struggle to manage the sheer volume of opportunities and synchronistic events that flow naturally into their lives. The frequency state itself becomes the filter, allowing only the highest possibilities to enter your field of awareness, effectively automating the manifestation process. Therefore, your primary task is not to visualize harder, but to align deeper. Focus obsessively on the quality of your internal emotional experience. Is it one of joy, certainty, and peace, or is it marred by hidden doubts and resentments? The frequency of your emotional core dictates the caliber of the miracles you will receive. The brain is not a passive receiver. It is an active tuner, constantly filtering the overwhelming flood of sensory data based on its current dominant emotional programming. This filtering mechanism is largely governed by the Reticular Activating System, RAS. The RAS acts as a bouncer, deciding what information gets conscious attention and what remains in the background noise. If your dominant, entrenched emotional state is based in scarcity, worry, or fear, your RAS is effectively tuned to threat detection. It will meticulously filter the environment for evidence confirming your scarcity narrative, causing you to overlook resources, dismiss opportunities, and misinterpret neutral events as negative signs. Conversely, when your dominant emotional state is elevated, rooted in deep gratitude, proactive love, or effortless certainty, your brain actively seeks out corresponding data. The RAS is then tuned to opportunity mode. It highlights potential partners, novel solutions, and unexpected coincidences that were always present in your environment but previously invisible because your neural pathways were preoccupied with searching for lack. This is why two people can walk through the exact same environment, yet one perceives limitation while the other perceives infinite possibility. They are operating on fundamentally different internal frequencies. These dominant emotional states are not fleeting moods. They are deeply conditioned neural pathways reinforced by years of repetition. They establish your emotional baseline. If your baseline is set at 4, e.g., perpetual low-grade stress, your brain will exert tremendous energy trying to return to that known comfortable state, even if it is unpleasant. Attempting to force a positive outcome while operating from a baseline of stress is akin to driving with the parking brake on. The resistance ensures failure or, at best, a highly effortful and unsustainable result. The true tuning process involves consciously elevating and conditioning the emotional baseline. It requires training the nervous system to accept elevated states, such as profound peace and deservingness, as its new normal. This is achieved through consistent emotional calibration, not faking happiness, but genuinely shifting the emotional meaning you assign to your life circumstances. When you stop reacting to external events as stressors and begin viewing them as necessary feedback or opportunities for growth, you fundamentally alter your internal broadcast. The physical brain structure adapts to this repeated emotional state through neuroplasticity. The neural circuits dedicated to joy, expansion, and synchronicity become stronger, thicker, and more accessible, while the circuits related to anxiety and self-doubt begin to atrophy from lack of use. This structural change cements the new high frequency, making sustained abundance automatic rather than an effortful chore. Your brain literally rewires itself to become a manifestation machine. Think of emotional tuning as setting the internal compass. If your emotional compass always points toward gratitude, your decisions, subconscious movements, and energetic projections will always lead you toward situations that reinforce gratitude. This is the profound mechanism that accelerates outcomes. The brain and heart work in unison to orchestrate opportunities that confirm the safety and success of the new frequency. The universe doesn't need to struggle to deliver results when you've already created the perfect internal receiving environment. The brain's ability to tune outcomes also explains the phenomenon of rapid manifestation following emotional breakthroughs. When a person releases a deep-seated trauma or resentment, the sudden shift in emotional weight immediately changes the energetic frequency, clearing the static. The results that were previously stalled or blocked suddenly rush in because the receiving mechanism has been instantly upgraded from closed to open, from resistant to receptive. Your perception is the ultimate creative tool. By mastering your emotional baseline, you are taking control of your perception, forcing the brain to look for and therefore find the miraculous in the mundane. This is not delusion. It is intentional focus on the highest potential reality, which, thanks to the laws of quantum physics and energetic resonance, then collapses into physical form. This internal tuning ensures that every external decision you make is aligned with your highest outcome. You stop making fearful choices rooted in lack and start making intuitive, expansive decisions rooted in trust and abundance. Your decisions cease to be analytical struggles and become moments of effortless, guided action, ensuring you are always on the shortest path to your desired miracle. The states that attract truly unlikely results, what we label as miracles, are characterized by three core energetic components: profound clarity, emotional neutrality, and sustained elevated feeling. Miracles are not random celestial gifts. They are highly specific responses to a zero-resistance frequency. When an individual operates from absolute clarity regarding their intention, coupled with neutrality about the outcome, they eliminate the push-pull of desire versus doubt, creating a vacuum that the universe must fill. The highly improbable result appears simply because there is no internal energetic friction to slow down its delivery. Clarity in this context means more than just knowing what you want. It is the utter certainty that the desired result is already energetically complete and waiting to manifest in the physical realm. When you hold this absolute knowingness, the vibration emitted is one of completion, not yearning. Yearning is a frequency of lack, pushing the result away. Knowingness is the frequency of possession, drawing the result effortlessly toward you. This shift in perception instantly elevates your energetic signal beyond the common frequencies of struggle and desire. Emotional neutrality is the most powerful catalyst for attracting accelerated results. It means releasing all attachment to how or when the miracle must arrive. When you are neutral, you have no anxiety about the delay or fear of the outcome not being perfect. This is the ultimate form of surrender and trust, eliminating the resistance that is generated by intense emotional investment or obsession. Obsession over an outcome is a low-frequency state that tells the universe you lack the faith that it will deliver. Neutrality communicates total, unwavering trust, which speeds up the delivery time exponentially. We are talking about achieving elevated emotional regulation, not just feeling good, but sustaining states like genuine joy, deep appreciation, and unconditional love. which are the highest measurable frequencies on the planet. These states are highly attractive not because they are pleasant, but because they are energetically expansive and non-resistant. When you exist in profound joy, you are signaling to the universe that your container is already full, and the only possible response is to deliver more fullness. What is one belief you need to release right now to enter a state of neutrality regarding your biggest desire? Share it in the comments below. Articulating the resistance is the first step to releasing it. The miracle state is achieved when you are fully present and content with your current reality, even while holding the clear intention for something greater. Paradoxically, the less you need the outcome, the faster it appears. This non-attachment is the energetic key to unlocking the statistically unlikely. When you are anchored in the elevated state, you cease to chase the outcome. Instead, you become the harmonic attractor field for it. Furthermore, this high-frequency state of elevated emotion often triggers what seems like divine intervention because it creates perfect synchronicity. The universe begins to move people, resources, and timing around you with impossible precision. This isn't luck. It's an energetic alignment where the right circumstances resonate perfectly with your internal frequency, creating moments where doors fly open and solutions appear effortlessly. When you manage to maintain clarity, neutrality, and elevated emotions simultaneously, you are broadcasting a signal that is so pure, so resonant, and so powerful that it overrides all lower frequencies and resistance. You have effectively created the energetic conditions for the fastest possible manifestation, often bypassing traditional routes of logic and effort. This is why major life changes or spontaneous healing often follow periods of intense, authentic spiritual breakthrough or profound emotional release. The miraculous result, therefore, is simply the physical evidence of your perfected frequency. It proves that you have completely stopped arguing with reality and started accepting the inherent abundance of the universe. This acceptance creates a receptive void, and nature abhors a void. In this context, the miracle serves not just as a gift, but as irrefutable feedback that your internal state is perfectly calibrated. The sustained attraction of unlikely results then becomes your new normal, confirming that the work of self-regulation and energetic tuning is the most powerful action you can ever take. The distinction between forcing and tuning is the difference between struggle and flow, exhaustion and abundance. Forcing is action rooted in lack. It is driven by the urgent, fearful belief that if you do not push, control, and manipulate the external world, the desired outcome will not materialize. This anxious effort generates tremendous internal resistance, creating a dense, heavy frequency that repels the very abundance it seeks. The energy of forcing is desperate and obsessive, signaling to the universe, "I do not trust you, and I do not trust myself to receive." Tuning, on the other hand, is action rooted in absolute knowingness and trust. It is the relaxed, receptive state of one who understands that the outcome is already guaranteed at a quantum level, and the physical realization merely requires the clearance of internal resistance. Tuning involves focused intention followed by surrender and inspired action. The resulting frequency is light, expansive, and highly magnetic, effortlessly drawing the necessary resources toward the goal. When you are forcing, your focus is entirely on the lack of the outcome, the distance between where you are and where you want to be. This focus perpetuates the lack, trapping you in a cycle of striving and disappointment. Forcing is about doing everything yourself, trying to manually engineer the intricate pathways of manifestation. This micromanagement blocks the elegant, infinitely more creative solutions the universe is attempting to deliver. Tuning requires radical receptivity. It means being open not just to the outcome you envisioned, but to a result that is potentially better, delivered via pathways you never considered. When you tune, you perform inspired actions that feel light, intuitive, and necessary, rather than heavy, obligatory, and stressful. Tuning acknowledges that you are a co-creator, not the sole engineer, trusting that the universal intelligence handles the logistics perfectly. The energy of forcing manifests results slowly, often through burnout and struggle, making the final victory feel heavy and tainted by exhaustion. The frequency of tuning manifests results quickly, often through synchronicity and joy, making the outcome feel effortless and confirming the intelligence of alignment. One path drains your energy, the other path actively replenishes it, ensuring sustained high vibrational living. Obsession is the signature of forcing. When you are obsessing, you are continually checking the external world for proof, constantly analyzing why it hasn't happened yet. This state of frantic seeking screams resistance. Tuning, however, involves focused intention, followed by purposeful detachment. You set the energetic target, trust the universe to handle the propulsion, and simply maintain the clear receptive channel. The core practice of tuning is emotional correction. Whenever you feel resistance, anxiety, or impatience creeping in, the telltale signs of forcing, you immediately recognize the low-frequency shift and choose a higher emotion, gratitude for what already is, or certainty for what is coming. This immediate self-correction maintains the clear signal and prevents the internal struggle from manifesting as external delay or frustration. Many high achievers fail at manifestation precisely because they rely on their proficiency at forcing. They mistake mental discipline and sheer effort for energetic alignment. True power lies not in the ability to push harder, but in the ability to relax, trust, and elevate the emotional frequency until the path forward becomes clear and entirely effortless. Therefore, ask yourself, does this action feel light and guided, or heavy and obligatory? If it's the latter, you are forcing. Stop, realign your frequency through emotional calibration, and wait for the intuitive, inspired action that resonates with the elevated state of tuning. This pause for realignment is often the fastest way to accelerate your results. Shifting your mental frequency from chaos to coherence is an active moment-to-moment practice, accessible through physical and cognitive tools. The most immediate and powerful frequency shifter is breath control. Techniques like the 4-7-8 breathing method or deep diaphragmatic breathing directly hack the nervous system, immediately signaling safety to the vagus nerve, which rapidly pulls the body out of fight or flight, incoherence, and into rest and digest, coherence. A 60-second intentional breathwork session can instantly neutralize anxiety, clear mental static, and tune your internal receiver. Next is emotional calibration. This involves consciously using the emotional scale to move yourself up to an elevated state. If you find yourself in a low-frequency state, like frustration or anger, do not try to jump instantly to joy. That jump is too wide and feels inauthentic, generating more resistance. Instead, seek the next highest, most accessible frequency, such as boredom or hope. Gradually scaling up the emotions, using deliberate positive focus and recognition of small blessings, allows you to sustainably shift your entire vibrational broadcast without strain or pretense. Focused intention serves as the lens through which your coherent energy is directed. It must be clean, precise, and devoid of the how. Spend daily time visualizing the feeling of the outcome, living from that future state of certainty and gratitude. This practice anchors the high frequency in your mind, ensuring that even when distractions arise, your system knows the ultimate destination and continues to broadcast the signal of completion, not aspiration. If this resonates with your pursuit of spiritual abundance and intentional frequency management, type the keyword alignment in the comments below. Let us know you are committed to the shift. Pattern interruption is crucial for dismantling old negative frequency loops. When you notice a cycle of worry, self-doubt, or limiting belief starting, you must interrupt it immediately and physically. This could involve clapping your hands, snapping a rubber band, or jumping up and down, a physical action that breaks the neural circuit and gives you a split-second window to choose a different thought and emotional frequency. Interruption is the act of refusing to let the old, discordant frequency dominate your broadcast. Integrating high vibrational input ensures the sustained purity of your frequency. This means curating your environment ruthlessly, consuming media that inspires and elevates, rather than media that terrifies and drains, associating with people who anchor you in possibility rather than pulling you into scarcity, and fueling your body with foods that support cellular resonance rather than creating sluggishness and fog. Your environment is a critical component of your energetic tuning. Energetic shielding maintains the integrity of your tuned state. High frequencies are sensitive and can be disrupted by external negative influences. Learn to mentally or visually create a shield of protective light around yourself before engaging in potentially draining situations, ensuring that the elevated state you've cultivated remains stable and impermeable to outside discord. This simple act of boundary setting is profound energetic maintenance. Furthermore, adopt a practice of morning priming. The first 30 minutes upon waking set the frequency for the entire day. Dedicate this time exclusively to coherent practices, gratitude journaling, breathwork, and intention setting. By setting a high vibrational baseline before the external world intrudes, you ensure that you are responding to the day from a place of power and alignment, rather than reacting from a place of stress. Finally, utilize gratitude anchors throughout the day. Set alarms or visual cues to stop. Acknowledge 3 things you are genuinely grateful for, and feel the physical warmth of that appreciation in your heart. This immediate, conscious shift reinforces the high frequency and acts as a continual recalibration tool, preventing your system from slipping back into the habitual lower frequencies of discontent or fear. The journey of attracting miracles is not about hitting the high frequency once. It is about establishing and sustaining that coherence until it becomes your subconscious resting state. Repetition is the absolute foundation of stabilization. Just as a muscle requires repeated exercise to grow strong, the neural pathways associated with coherence, trust, and elevated emotion require consistent, daily reinforcement. Every deliberate act of choosing gratitude over anxiety or aligning your breath when stressed solidifies the new high-frequency architecture in your mind and body. Self-observation is the master key to maintaining the frequency. You must become the detached, non-judgmental witness of your own internal state. When a lower frequency, doubt, impatience, criticism arises, your goal is not to fight it, but simply to observe it, acknowledge its presence without identification, and gently choose to return to the preferred high-frequency state. This witness consciousness prevents you from being hijacked by old emotional patterns and empowers you to sustain coherence proactively. Lifestyle coherence anchors the vibrational state in your physical reality. Your frequency is profoundly affected by what you consume, how you move, and how you rest. Inadequate sleep, poor nutrition, and excessive media consumption are major disruptors that pull your physical body out of alignment, making sustained high frequency almost impossible. A clean, disciplined lifestyle is not a sacrifice. It is the necessary energetic maintenance required to hold a clear channel for universal abundance. If you are finding profound value in understanding the mechanics of sustained high vibration and attracting intentional miracles, please show your appreciation and commitment by hitting the like button right now. Your engagement helps us share this knowledge further. Consistent integration means ensuring that your spiritual practices are not separate from your daily life, but integrated into every moment. Your frequency must remain high while you are driving, working, managing family, and dealing with conflict. It is easy to feel aligned during meditation. The challenge is holding that alignment when presented with a trigger. This sustained integration proves to the universe that the high-frequency state is your established default, justifying the flow of consistent, reliable miracles. Forgiveness and release are ongoing tools for maintenance. Every day presents opportunities for resentment, frustration, or minor disappointments to lower your frequency. Developing a daily practice of intentional release, forgiving others, forgiving yourself, and releasing any energetic baggage carried from the previous day ensures that your internal broadcast remains clean, clear, and unburdened by past discord, allowing fresh, high energy to flow through you. Accountability to joy demands that you prioritize activities that naturally elevate your frequency. Spend time in nature, engage in creative outlets, and cultivate relationships that are mutually elevating. These activities are not optional treats. They are critical stabilizers that saturate your system with beneficial, coherent energy, making the effort required to stay high frequency significantly less taxing. The final pillar of stabilization is absolute trust. This is the deep fundamental knowing that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, regardless of current appearances. When a challenge arises, you view it not as a setback, but as a necessary course correction or an opportunity to prove the stability of your high frequency. This unwavering trust eliminates the fear that causes frequency dips, sealing your channel for consistent attraction. By treating your frequency management as the single most important task in your life, you move out of the realm of accidental miracles and into the world of predictable, consistent abundance. You stop waiting for the universe to act and become the stable anchor around which miracles reliably manifest. We have dissected the mechanics of frequency, shifting the understanding from an esoteric concept to a physiological and energetic state of coherence between your mind, heart, and nervous system. The hack is not in manipulating the external world, but in refining the internal broadcast. Miracles are simply the highly accelerated, synchronized outcomes that must appear when the signal emitted is one of zero resistance, absolute clarity, and elevated emotion. By moving from forcing to tuning and from chaos to coherence, you cease to chase and begin to attract with effortless grace. Your capacity to attract the spectacular is directly proportional to your willingness to maintain the elevated frequency. This is not about constant bliss, but about consistent, self-aware correction, the immediate choice to return to gratitude, neutrality, and trust whenever dissonance appears. The stability of your frequency is the single most reliable predictor of sustained synchronicity and abundance in your life. Take a moment now to reflect. Which specific practice, breath control, pattern interruption, or lifestyle coherence will you integrate starting today to stabilize your frequency? How committed are you to maintaining the knowingness that your desired results are already handled? Commit to the consistency required to make miracles your new normal. If this message has served as a powerful guide in tuning your mind and accelerating your manifestation journey, hit the like button now. Share this video with someone who needs this level of clarity, and be sure to subscribe to ensure you continue receiving the wisdom necessary to maintain your high vibrational, miraculous life.